More than 36 hours until the big announcement that could ultimately reshape the high court for decades. President Trump finalizing his top pick to nominate to the Supreme Court. Anticipation building for who he could tap to replace retiring Justice Anthony Kennedy. The 81-year-old Republican judge was appointed back in 1988 by then-President Ronald Reagan. Donald Trump expected to announce his nominee tomorrow night, choosing from a short list of possible nominees. Reportedly, those on the final list are Brett Kavanaugh, Raymond Kesslidge, and Amy Coney Barrett. Here to help us learn more about the top nominees, political commentator Kathy Barnette. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
Let's start with, who should we start with? We're going to start with Brett Kavanaugh.
Brett Kavanaugh, why not? But let's just say, so we started with a list of 25 potential Supreme Court nominees.
Yes.
Now, on Friday, we were told that they have a rollout package for 4 of them. We don't really know who these 4 people are, but there's a lot of speculations, right? So we have Judge Brett Kavanaugh. We have Judge Amy Barrett, Judge Raymond Kesslidge, as well as Judge Hardiman. Kavanaugh and Judge Amy Barrett are the 2 who are seen
creating
as
all the buzz,
all the rhetoric around them. Judge Kavanaugh, he is 53 years old. He is the one out of the 4 who has the most experience. He's written over 300 opinions, so you essentially know what you're getting with a Justice Kavanaugh. The problem is that he's a D.C. insider. He came right out of Yale, started working with the Ken Starr investigation, and never left D.C. And many conservatives have been making a really strong push that he's not conservative enough, that he's not a sure thing, and that is what conservatives want right now, a sure thing.
And they were a little concerned about him because he had some involvement with investigating former President Bill Clinton.
Yes, exactly, right. Now, since then, he has recanted on his initial litmus test on how a president can be impeached, right? So he's kind of walked those statements back. But nonetheless, he's not seen as a true conservative. He's more in the vein of a Justice Kennedy, which many conservatives did not like that much.
Okay. What about the only female nominee? She's pretty young.
Yes, 46 years old. She's looking to be on the bench for a very long time. So President Trump really likes that. And if you recall, President Trump has mentioned a lot that he wants someone out of the cloth of a Neil Gorsuch. That would be Judge Amy Barrett, right? And the conservatives really like her. They see her as reliably conservative. Now, the things that may some of her critics would say, well, she hasn't been there very long. She was just confirmed as a judge back in October, so she hasn't been there for a full year yet.
And she went through a tough confirmation.
She went through a very tough confirmation, but she was able to secure the vote of 3 Democrats. So it's going to be very interesting to see if she is the nominee, how those same 3 Democrats are going to view her this time around. Also, I believe, basically, regardless of who President Trump nominates, it's going to be a bloodbath. It's going to be brutal out there on the streets, right, in D.C. and throughout our nation, because you have those who are committed to resisting this president, no matter what he does, no matter who he chooses. But with Amy Barrett, I think we're going to see a lot of conversation about religious testing, as well as the fact that she's a mom of 7. Now, those are things that engender me and many others, but for Democrats, I think they're going to look at that because they're very concerned that she may vote against Roe v. Wade.
Gotcha. Finally, Judge Raymond Kesslidge.
Yes, right. He's kind of like a dark horse. However, he was the one, it is rumored, he spent an exorbitant amount of time talking to both Vice President Pence and President Trump. He's more of a blue-collar kind of background. He has a good story. He has a good, a forgotten man kind of story.
And everyone loves a good story.
It's going to be interesting.
Yeah, it is. I think it's going to be interesting, too, when we think about just the makeup of the justices, female to male. It's a lot of conversation around it. It's a hot button issue.
It's a lot of boxes to check, right?
It is.
Yeah, but when you're talking about Judge Amy Barrett, she would be the first female nominated by a Republican. And she's just a good story all around, and conservatives really are pushing hard for her.
And her big thing that a lot of people are talking about is being Catholic and her views on abortion and women's rights, and that kind of complicates her platform. And no one really knows what her views on abortion are, but they're just, placing a lot of their own personal opinions onto her. We don't really know because that's not, because even when she goes through the confirmation, you're going to hear a lot of them
quote this saying, you know, listen, I'm a judge. I'm going to go in. I'm going to read the Constitution based on the intent of the original founders. And that is what conservatives really want. They want someone who's a sure thing, who's a reliable conservative, who's going to go in and, versus being like most progressive judge, lay their opinions on top of the Constitution. They want someone who's going to go in and read the Constitution as it is.
Stick to the script.
Stick to it, right?
All right. Kathy, thank you.